Hey, what's up guys? This is the first in my installments of the Cyclops Mailbox. This is the first in the new little video series I'm trying out. You guys let me know if you want to keep seeing videos like this below in the comments. And if you have questions you want answered in the next video, if you guys like the video, let me know with the thumbs up or thumbs down. If I get enough thumbs up, then I'll consider that you guys want to see more like this. Otherwise, I'll just kill it after this if it's not something you're interested in. Now, I get a lot of comments, I get a lot of emails, people text me and reach out to me in various ways asking me scope questions. It's almost always optics and scope questions. Today's video is about Springer rated scopes or airgun rated scopes. Now, the guys that don't know, on a lot of air guns, not the PCP air guns, which are basically almost recoilless, and if there is recoil, it's straight back like a normal rifle. But we're talking about Springers and piston powered air rifles, whether they're brake barrels, side lever, under lever. These guns do stuff to scopes that a lot of guys are not aware of, and here's why. When you fire a Springer, there's a piston that's pulled all the way back. Now, whether it's held back with a shock or held back with a spring, when you release the sear, that piston comes forward, and when it gets to the end of the compression chamber, it stops dead and it makes the gun go forward. Now, these scopes are not built for that kind of recoil. They're built for straight back recoil. They're not made for recoil that goes forward. What makes it worse, once it hits, it recoils back and stops again. So it just went forward, now it's coming back, and then it'll go back and it'll sit in there and go, did you like that shit? But it's going back and forth, and it's just basically like putting this freaking scope inside of a paint shaker. And a lot of scopes, it'll tear the hell out of them. Now, guys that don't shoot Springers are probably saying bullshit. I was the same way. When I first started shooting air rifles, I thought, the scope that I've got on top of a 270 Weatherby, this pellet gun is going to tear it up. I tore up 4 scopes on that gun in the first damn week. That made a believer out of my ass, because I ended up spending $100 shipping scopes back and forth to these manufacturers to get them repaired. After that, I realized air guns are hell on scopes. Now think of it this way. The car that I drive has supposedly a 5-star rating. Shit if I know. But we've all seen these films where they drive a car into an embankment at, say, 35 miles an hour. Airbags drop from the freaking sky. They're just surrounded by a bunch of cushions. They bounce off all the airbags. Everything's good. You hope you get out of there with just a few bruises, scratches, and sore the next damn day. You take that same damn car, turn around in reverse, and hit that damn concrete embankment. One thing, somebody my size, my big ass is going to rip the seat right out of the damn bottom of it, and I'm probably going to go flying through that back glass. It's probably going to kill my ass. That's the way I try to think about these scopes. Now, a lot of the scopes that are out there will say they're airgun rated. Don't believe that shit. Okay, let's take Hawk, for example. Hawk markets towards airgunners. They have very short focus, multi-point reticles, they illuminate, high power, they do all of the stuff, they check all of the boxes airgunners are wanting in a scope. Even Hawk, on their lower end scopes, used to everything was airgun rated. Then it was, well, this particular scope is airgun rated to 12 foot-pounds. And now they take the same scope without any changes, and now it's not rated for Springers. Now, you're marketing for the air gunners, but we can't use it on air guns. And they're not alone in this. Leupold at one time, any scope they made, period, they didn't give a shit. Throw it on anything. Put it on a 50 BMG. We do not care. You cannot tear it up. That's no longer the case. You can call Leupold directly, and they still make the 3-9 EFR, the Mark ARs, the 6.5 to 20 EFRs, which I love all of those scopes and have owned all of them. I've had all of them on air guns and I've never torn one up. But just recently, I reached out to Leupold and asked them about putting one of their scopes on a Springer, and they said absolutely it's not rated for a Springer. Now, they'll warranty it, but it's not rated for a Springer. Several other companies to think about. Vortex. Vortex will take anything back. This is not a Vortex, but if it was, I could bend it in half on this table and they'll warranty it. Vortex don't give a flying shit about it. The only thing is, I don't know how many times you can send that same scope back before they're going to tell you, hey man, that's enough of that shit. We've warranted that scope several times. I don't know what you're doing, but knock that shit off. And other companies would be the same way. And you would too if you owned an optics company. You wouldn't want some yahoo sending a bunch of scopes back. Once a week you get a damn scope from this guy because he's putting them on a gun that is just tearing the living shit out of them. Now, what kind of guns am I talking about? I'm talking about the big, powerful nitro piston guns that come from Walmart, Tractor Supply, that kind of stuff. When they're rated at 1,400 feet per second, which they probably won't do even with the lightest pellet out there, but when they're rated that high, they have the largest, most powerful piston. They're hard to cock. When you shoot them, they go off like a jackhammer. Most of the time at 30 yards, you couldn't hit the camera that I'm talking into right now. And they can become very frustrating because it's hard to keep everything screwed down. Here's a quick slow motion look at a video courtesy of Airgun of Arizona that shows you a Diana recoilless mount. Now this thing really helps with the Magnum springers, but look at the way the gun is jumping around here. Look at these other clips and you can see how the gun goes forward and back. This is hell on a scope. It is absolute torture on a scope, and when you think about it, you realize why it would be. Now, if it were me and I had to have a Magnum and I was going to get a scope to put on top of it, I would probably do this. I would get a scope that right now I wouldn't recommend anybody buy, something like a UTG. I know guys that use these crazy ass things and they're almost bulletproof on top of these Magnum springers. Part of the reason is a lot of the internals are made out of rubber instead of made out of metal, so I guess it soaks up some of it. Now, the point of impact shifts all the time. They don't track well. The glass sucks, but they might stay together in one piece. That's a trade-off you'll have to think about. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I say, let me know below if this is something you'd be interested in seeing, a series like this, and try to answer some of the questions that you guys have. Now, I'm not interested in trying to do this real dry or try to be like a school teacher or no shit like that. I'm just me. I'm having fun all the time, but there are guys that want to have a serious answer to a serious question, so I'm trying to do that without trying to squeeze little bits and pieces into one gun review or one scope review. I'd rather do this and answer the question more in depth. I hope this helped you guys. Like I say, let me know below by the thumbs up or thumbs down, and I'll see you around.